We got Miss LittleTfitness in the house. What's up, girl?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
Good, a.k.a. Taylor.
Yes. The Taylor's important because no one knew my name for the longest time.
Learmont?
Learmont, yes.
Learmont.
Learmont.
Why?
Learmont.
How was it that no one knew your name? Like, how...
Oh, because honestly, so many people miss the T in general. So they'll just say LittleTfitness. And I'm just like, there's a T in there. But it's funny that so many people who email me, like professional emails too, will just guess my name. They'll be like, hey, Tina. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tiffany. And I'm like, oh, you guys getting real creative.
Tina.
So I literally had to put in my name so people knew who I was.
Wow. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What the heck? I guess where did LittleTfitness come from? Because, also, like, little... in the name for like fitness people, like
that's so true. I know, it's so opposite, right?
No, it's like a big thing. Like a lot of people were putting like little in their like at names.
Oh, that's true. Yes, yeah. I do see what you mean there. So LittleTfitness came because my good friend that you know too, Pang Christine, her family
Shouts out Pang.
Yes, shout out to Pang. Her family always called me Little Taylor. And so I always grew up with people referring to me as that. So when I created my fitness page, I always knew I wanted little in there. And then T just came naturally because as I got older, more people called me T instead of like Taylor or Tay and all that stuff.
Okay. What do you call it? So it wasn't a regular Instagram page at the beginning?
Well, when I first started, it was a long name. It was Little Lifter Motivation. That's a mouthful.
Little Lifter Motivation.
We had to change that real quick because that was a lot.
But this is strictly just fitness.
Yes.
Okay. What made it? Well, so a lot of people, I guess, just in general for like entertainment and whatever, they do their whole brand as like one person and everything is on like one page. And then there's people who are like, this is my fitness page, this is my cooking page, this is my bartending page, this is my like music page, right? And so they have a page for every single thing versus just like some people just everything is just once in theirs, right? So like, I guess why did you decide not to just like be that one brand and just like everything lifestyle, everything fitness on that one page?
So it's good you mentioned that. So I am trying to branch out a little bit more. So I am very up in the, or like taken up in the fitness space for sure. And because of that, now that I'm getting obviously more into like the content creation side, being able to expand and have more opportunities, I have to like start dabbling in like, oh, here's a little bit of lifestyle in there.
I guess initially though, like why did you split it off?
Oh, because I didn't want to be annoying.
Oh, annoying?
Yeah, because
how so?
Because I was self-conscious. So when I first started my fitness page, I didn't want anyone to find me.
Why not?
Because I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I was nervous.
Embarrassed? Why?
Because people are judgmental.
Like
you know, people at university are like, oh my gosh, she's got a fitness page. Like, she thinks she can do fitness, or like, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Sure. And so you get self-conscious, and so I literally hid it from my friends. Like I was private. Like you could not find me. At least like 6 months. Yeah. So, and if people would find me, I would like make them unfollow me. I'd be like, no, remove. So, because I was just so self-conscious about it.
So and then, was this just for yourself?
Literally just for me. I just wanted to post my stuff and just have fun.
And have no one see it.
No, none of my friends see it. I don't care if other people could find me. Just my friends couldn't find me.
It's just like, I can't talk to you guys in real life, but online, you guys could follow me. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. I can't have you know me in real life and judge me to my face, but if you're online, it didn't matter. So yeah, I just basically, I had a personal page, and which I still have, but for my fitness page, I just didn't want to be posting like my workouts where all my university friends would see it. So I started like my other fitness page, which is now my main page.
Okay. So why, were you always doing these types of workouts, like in general?
Pretty much.
Like you were doing drag and pistol squats like in college and everything like that? No,
I was doing regular pistol squats. I didn't learn dragon until 2019.
Ah, so relatively new. Did you invent it?
No, oh, definitely not.
You didn't invent it?
No. Like all those things have been around, like all those like, not like animal flow movements, but all those movements have been around for like a very, very long time. I know there's some people on Instagram who like stamp it as theirs. That's I personally that's incorrect.
Well, I think you kind of like made it big again, at least the dragon pistol squat.
Maybe. I feel like since I started my page in Mobility Monday in particular, I do see a lot more people incorporating that kind of style into their content, which is great to see because I think a lot of people ignored mobility for a really long time. Yeah,
why do you think all of a sudden, like in this last 10-year, maybe 5-year, or even 3-year, I don't know, it's like it went from like, at least when I started my lifting journey, it was powerlifting, bodybuilding, just that's it, you know, and like I don't know, I started 7 years ago, and I didn't see anything like calisthenics or muscle ups and planches and all these backflips and everything like that.
It's true. I think the creative side of it, there was only a few people out there doing it. And so I think a lot of people in the fitness industry just thought of just like pure lifting. That's it. And I do think the industry goes through waves where it's like super, like right now Pilates is like killing it. Like everyone wants to do Pilates. I love Pilates. I love it.
What do you like about Pilates?
I call it my active rest day. So for me, it's a day that I can like kind of stretch out my body, activate everything, but it's not tiring too much. So for me, it's great.
So people are down out here on these Pilates reformer machines, and Taylor's like, "This is my recovery day, guys."
Yeah. Literally.
She was like, "You are not on my level. It's okay."
No, but it's a great workout. But yeah, so like right now it's Pilates that's super in. A couple years back it was CrossFit. Everyone was doing CrossFit. So I think it just over years or like over time, everyone kind of brings back a certain discipline of fitness. Yeah. And fortunately for me, calisthenics was one of the ones I got back, especially during the pandemic and everything. Sure. Everyone was looking for just body weight, pull-ups, push-ups, all that stuff.
Yeah. I guess where did your fitness journey start? I guess like how did you get into doing cool things with your body?
So, I mean, I started way back when I did gymnastics. So that's when I learned flipping. So that was my gymnastics background, my dance background, my cheerleading. And then I think what morphed into my, I guess, like workout stuff is when I went to university and I was on the cheer team and they made us do strength and conditioning, which I had never done before. Yeah. I would like go into the gym, do like a little core workout or like booty bands or something and call it a day.
Sorry. Can you tell me what color is this?
Red.
Okay, cool.
Oh. Is this a quiz?
No, I'm just double checking. Yeah, so repeat what you just said. My apologies.
Like how I started my fitness journey?
Yeah.
I started back I started as a gymnast when I was really young. So gymnastics.
And so you're learning all these like flips and like where you do rings and everything.
Yeah, so artistic gymnastics for females, we don't really touch the rings too much. It's just like the uneven bars, beam, vault, and floor. So that's what I did. And I did that all the way up until...
And what age were you when you started?
Like 4. Like 3 or 4 until grade 8. So I think I'm like 12.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it? No,
yeah.
12th grade.
No, 12 years old.
12 years old.
Yeah, because I stopped in grade 8.
Okay, stopped in grade 8.
Yeah, and then I did dance through grade 9 to grade 12.
What type of dance?
Oh, well, I don't even dance anymore. Like, people, I say that.
What type of dance, Taylor?
I hate saying dance because people are like, oh, you can dance. I'm like, absolutely not. But I did acro, which was my specialty. And then
Acro's a type of dance?
Yeah, acro is like flippy stuff.
Okay.
It's like doing like handstand walking, and then you do a couple dance moves and stuff.
Oh.
So that was my
That's
forte.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
Really?
Acro dancing.
Yeah, acro.
I mean, like I've heard of acro yoga. I've heard of like acro where you're like holding people up and like spinning.
No,
and stuff
acro
like that.
dance. You should look it up because if you look at the fitness industry, IFBB Pro Fitness, it's very similar to that category. Okay. And then I did ballet, jazz, which I hated, and lyrical. I did not do hip hop. Could not do that.
You couldn't pop a...
No, I cannot pop it. I cannot look it. I can't do any of that. I have no rhythmic bone in my body for that. Not built that way.
Yeah. So I guess like, why did you stop gymnastics and why did you stop dancing, I guess, at grade 8?
So I stopped gymnastics because at the time, like my back was injured and I was like younger and like I couldn't reach my toes because like my back was so tight.
What did you get injured from?
Just overuse injury. So it was one of those things that when I was talking to my chiro and like physio and stuff, they said it won't go away. It'll just go through periods where you have to like maintain it a bunch. And if I was talking to myself back then, I'd be like, toughen up, let's go. Like, this is not a big deal. But because I was like younger and my parents just obviously wanted me to enjoy what I was doing and I was in pain a lot of the time, they just said like, let's find something else. Like if you don't want to do it, you don't want to be in pain, like we'll step away from gymnastics and go find something else that you really, really like.
So you didn't really like it?
Well, because it was just unenjoyable because I was just always hurting. Yeah.
What was your favorite event though?
So my favorite event was beam because it was my best event.
Usually we like things that we're good at.
Yeah. Bars, hated bars, terrible at bars.
That's ironic, just because like most of the stuff that you do right now, like
exactly bars. I know. Plot twist.
It's like full circle, guys.
Yeah.
We've accomplished the things that we didn't like.
Little me would be so proud.
And then dancing, did you just like not like dancing?
I didn't really like it.
So when your parents were like, let's find something new, what was like this new thing that you were gonna like love and do?
I don't know. I think my thing that I've always loved is gymnastics.
Okay.
Because even now, like as an adult, like I'm 27 and I still love to like flip around, you know? And I like the strength component of gymnastics. I think it was great because it had like the flipping and the strength. And that's exactly what I do now as an adult.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy that I guess you're 27 years old and you're still like moving through air and flipping and stuff like that?
Right. In my head, I'm like, when does this become like socially not acceptable
when
anymore?
You're 80 years old and you're flipping on TikTok and Instagram and stuff, people are gonna be like, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna happen.
I have to wait for it. Who's that 60-year-old at the calisthenics park?
Yeah, what do you call it? For the calisthenic aspect of it, like there's a ton of like creativity, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing? Where did you come up with your ideas?
So I pull it from all my athletic backgrounds. So a lot of my gymnastics transitions, dance transitions, and cheer stuff. And
Did you cheer?
Yeah, I did cheer throughout university.
Like college?
Yes.
Oh, what college did you go to?
Well, you won't know it because it's in Canada, but Laurier.
Okay, some
Golden
people
Hawk.
might. There's some people from Canada who listen.
Oh, that's true. Yes, Golden Hawks. I loved my university.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were all girl level 6, but then we
All
also
girl level 6.
which is the one that has like 3 high pyramids. So it's
were
relatively
you a flyer?
dangerous. I was at the top of the pyramid. So if I fell far.
Have you did you fall?
I did. I
Like
fell
on the ground?
Yeah, a lot of times.
How are you doing that? Like how are you still alive?
I know, right? Because my only injuries out of all my sports were in cheerleading because it was when I fell and people would not catch me and I would hit my head on the floor. So I had 2 really bad concussions in university. Yeah.
Ouch.
So I didn't stick with cheer because again, did not like it that much.
So what was the thing that you found like love and enjoyment from, like at this point?
What I do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were doing all this from university.
I started my Instagram page in 2017, so it would have been the year that I was graduating. Yeah.
Okay. How do you come up with all these ideas?
It's just pulling from all these different sports, like different ideas. And also, like, I look on my Instagram a ton. Like, my screen time is disgusting. It's like 24 hours. I don't even know how I do it.
Ooh.
But it's...
Is it really?
No, it's like 18. But, like, it's really gross. Like, I don't know how I have it so high. I should really, monitor
Also,
that.
you have the most... you respond so quickly.
Yes, because I'm always... It's right here. It's on my phone.
Do you think that's healthy?
I think it's healthy for my business.
Sure.
For my mind, I do take breaks, but I definitely am... Like, I would say I'm addicted to my phone. Like, I get a little antsy if I don't have it in my hands.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you ever do fast from it?
A fast?
Like fasting from your phone?
Never.
Never?
When I'm sleeping.
Do you think you should?
Maybe. Eventually. I don't know when I'll get there, but I'll get there.
Yeah, because there's a ton of studies about like just screen time, and I mean I don't know if they're accurate because I'm not like a scientist and everything, but like
Oh yeah, my attention span's super short.
oh
I feel like I'm self-aware though, at least.
that's good.
Because TikToks and everything. Like I know I saw an ad on TikTok the other day where it was like we're gonna start doing 10-minute videos. Could not watch a 10-minute video.
Oh, what the heck?
That's really long, especially on a skinny little screen.
Wow, do you not listen to podcasts at all? Because I listen to like 3-hour podcasts on the daily.
That's different though. Like that's not like a podcast for me is like audio, but to like watch something.
So movies, Avatar's not the move.
No, love movies.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. If it's on my phone specifically, it has to be like 6 to 12 seconds. But if it's on a computer screen, a TV screen, I could binge watch like 40 hours worth of TV.
Well, what about cardio? What do you watch during cardio? Because like I'm assuming you do like you do steady state on the Stairmaster, right?
Oh yeah, but I listen to the same song on repeat.
Why?
Yeah, like a weirdo, literally.
What's the reasoning?
Because I can count down. Because what I do is I start my cardio and I'm like, okay, this song is 3 minutes long. I'm going cardio for 15 minutes. All I have to do is listen to the song 5 times. And then I'm done.
Wow.
That's my logic.
Really? That would be so monotonous to me. Like, like I can't really run a long period of time like on a track because I'm just like...
Oh, because it's like this?
Yeah, just like same scenery, same scenery, same scenery, same scenery. Versus like if I'm in the mountains or on the road and I'm just like run wherever the fuck you want to go, it's just like you'll get lost and you're just like, I'm doing this thing.
And you're like, you just ran 10 miles.
Yeah, so like the same song, it's like same song, same song.
But it's like, when you really like a song though, and it's like, there's like upbeat parts, it's
tell the people what song you usually listen to on that.
It's the Lilo and Stitch songs.
Oh, yeah?
I forget what they're called off the top of my head, but like they're the ones that are like super happy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, love those songs. If you haven't done it, honestly, try it because you're like, oh, this is a good tune.
So
like,
you listen to happy stuff? Like
when I'm on cardio, yes.
What about working out?
When I work out, it's like NF, Eminem.
So it's not like heavy rock or metal or anything like that?
No. Like screamo music? No.
Yeah. What do you think about when you're doing like, I guess, heavy lifts and stuff? Because like, obviously you're doing these like calisthenic movements, but I would say like all around, like you're kind of just like do every type of fitness.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of people don't realize I strength train.
Yeah.
But I do, yeah.
I mean, you're out here squatting like all the time on your stories and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm trying to show people I squat.
I'm
like, hey guys, look at me, look at me, look at me.
It's so funny because like you don't really post like lifting weights, like actual like bodybuilding movements and
yeah.
like on your actual page, but on your stories you're like, hey guys, I still
lift.
do. Yeah.
I lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I do have my pro bodybuilding card too, and so a lot of people don't know that either because I took it out of my bio for the longest time.
Why do you take it out?
Because I didn't. It's gonna sound so funny. I didn't identify with it too much. Because realistically, it's not like I'm in that world anymore. Sure. I don't really know too many people in that world currently. But I recently put it back in because I do want to do my pro debut at some point. Yeah, because I do think it's not necessarily a waste. Yeah, not necessarily a waste, but because I have the card and I know so many people work to get that card, for me to just not even do a debut, I think would be
you should capitalize on it, right?
Yeah,
and it's more content.
It's more content, and it's a new challenge. I just have to be mentally ready for that challenge because I do know when I did it before, the diet wasn't even that strict, but like I had such a bad relationship with food. So I'm hoping to see like all the growth that I've had since 2019. Hopefully that like mental part of it will be a lot easier for me now.
Yeah. For, I guess, the music, I mean, when you're lifting a super heavy weight, what's your headspace? Like, where do you go to? Like, do you max out at all?
I don't really I work out, like, I do a 5x3. That's pretty much the heaviest. But I won't go, like, for one
so that's
max.
still, like a low volume, heavy weight, right?
Yeah, I'll work at, like, 80-85%.
So, like, do you get, like, what's the mood that you get into before you, like, lifting this heavy weight? Because, like, for me, for the longest time when I was doing heavy powerlifting, I'd think of, like, a buddy of mine who's like passed away, or like some dark shit. Like,
wow,
and I'm
that's
just
dark.
Like, I'm gonna
I was not expecting.
I'm gonna get after it.
Oh,
you know,
we're okay. So mine's gonna sound so less motivational because I'm just like, okay, shit, here we go. And then I just go into it.
Oh, you just go into it.
Yeah, I'm like, this is probably gonna be really heavy, but you can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally, I think the words before I go into it are just like, okay, shit, and then I just go for it.
How do you program your like workouts and stuff now? Like, do you have any like goals?
Yes. So actually, my upper body days, my calisthenics days in particular, are programmed by my friend and coach, Mike Unbreakable. So he does. Shouts
out Mike.
Yeah, love him. He's freaking amazing. He's so strong. So we're hoping to compete in California, actually, July. I believe it's 19.
Can you describe like a calisthenics competition? Like,
yeah.
I feel like no one knows what that is.
I know, no one knows what it is at all. So there's two different types. There's like, it's called street workout in general, but there's weighted and then there's endurance. So the first one I did a while back in 2021 was endurance. So it was like max push-ups, max handstand hold, max lever, max pull-ups, all that stuff. So it's just like, there's no time cap. It's just as many as you can do unbroken.
Okay.
And that's endurance.
Sweet.
And sometimes endurance can be that, or it can be as many as you can do in 2 minutes.
So you said pull-ups,
push-ups,
front lever, push-ups,
front lever, back lever, handstand hold.
Is it lever or lever?
I say lever.
Oh, okay. I say lever. Maybe I got
front
it wrong.
lever. Front lever. I say front lever.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it's Canadian versus US.
What's the hardest calisthenic movement for you?
Front lever. And strict muscle up. But we're getting close to both.
I feel like strict muscle up, it's just mostly a false grip that you have to get.
And my pull strength was really weak.
Compared to your pushing?
Yeah. Like, so, for instance, my push-ups, I can do 105 unbroken.
105 unbroken.
Pull-ups? Like 15.
Really?
Yeah. The max I ever got was 20, but that's when I also was a little bit lighter too.
Yeah.
But
it
helps. Like pull-ups hard.
2020, 2021, I was trying to max out. No, not max out, but like get 50 pull-ups unbroken.
Yeah.
I hit 33.
That's really good.
Thank you. But like I just stopped there. Like it never got like more than that.
Because when you were training though, how did you train for them? Curious.
I followed a pull-up program that I found online.
Okay, what was the program?
It was called the 50 pull-up challenge.
Okay, so what was a progression in there?
Honestly, it probably wasn't that good, but like it was basically sets of, I think, 6 sets of pull-ups, right? So they would have categories of like what you currently can do. So it's like 10 to 20 pull-ups, here's the program. 20 to 25, here's the program. And basically it would be like, say if your max pull-ups is currently 20. So it would start at like your first day is like day 1. It'd be like 14 pull-ups, 16 pull-ups, 14, 18 max out. And then like I'd rest one day and then I'd do the progression each. I don't know the rhyme and reason behind it because like I just assumed that it was good because there was a legit program online, which
you're like, yes,
you
this
should
is
not
good.
You should not follow that.
Not the way. There's a lot of stuff on the internet. That's not it.
That is not correct. But yeah, that was it. And like I feel like just volume was a thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what my training looks like is my coach has me doing a lot of like EMOMs or AMRAPs, and it's a mixture of like
what's EMOMs again?
Every minute on the minute.
Every minute on the minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
AMRAP is as many reps as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
So that varies for me. Sometimes it's weighted stuff. Sometimes it's not weighted. So because I'm potentially competing in weighted calisthenics and endurance, like that's why we're kind of like training both. And my next phase will be a much better phase for me because it's going to be all like strength stuff and not the endurance stuff. So I'll be a little bit more challenged for that, which I'm going to like.
Why do you want to compete in calisthenics?
Because I competed once in Canada.
Okay, so you've done one.
I've done one in Montreal. Okay. And I would say that from what I've heard from calisthenics athlete, the competition internationally, so like the U.S., North America, is great. European athletes are insane. They are in the calisthenics world. They are like top tier. Yeah. So first, we're gonna start with North America and see how I do there. Their communities out there are way better. Like whatever they do for their designs, for their gyms, and like their access to calisthenics gyms are just much better in Europe.
Do you think it's a space thing? Because like
I think so.
Like if you think about it, like
it's really hard to find one here.
I know.
I've been trying to find one where I can do my weighted dips and my muscle ups.
No, it's super hard.
And I'm like, no gym has it.
It's super hard. There's so many gyms, probably like every block that you go into LA, but like.
But they all have the bars that are like spaced out. They're not like a straight bar.
I know.
They don't have dips, or if they do, they're like not full body dips. Like you have to like bend your knees, and like that's not good for comp prep.
And I guess you could do it at like a commercial gym, but you're like, who wants to train?
Yeah, but also like the bars aren't set up for it at commercial gym either, because it's like that. It's like the cable bars that are like the wide ones and the narrow ones and like the other ones. So those aren't good for working weighted like any calisthenic prep stuff.
Why is that?
Because we have to train on a straight bar, like straight.
Oh. No, there's plenty of straight bars that.
No.
No?
No.
Really?
Like, basically, no. It's very rare that I find a commercial gym that has a straight bar.
What got you into, I guess, like, calisthenic movements? Because I know gymnastics, obviously, is like you're moving your body and, like, flipping and doing a ton of, I guess, like, pulling movements, especially on a bar. But, like, the creativity of, I don't know, clapping push-ups that honestly just look cool for Instagram.
Yeah. They're a showstopper.
Because, like, I don't know. I've never trained like that, you know, like.
Yeah.
Like, you don't train like I'm going to do.
Like 10 Superman push-ups, superset it with, like, tiger bends and blah, blah, all that stuff.
It's like I'm going to do bench my 100 and something push-ups and just, like, be able to do those things, but.
Yeah, but you don't, like, incorporate them too much. The only
training, right?
Yeah, the only time I ever did incorporate them for training specifically was when I competed in fitness for my pro card.
Okay.
Because that's stuff you needed to have it for.
Yeah. So what year did you start, like, I guess, like, getting into funky, like, calisthenics movements that people on Instagram like to look at?
I think I got into it. So I very first entered into that realm with just doing handstand stuff. Okay. My handstands were so ugly back then. I look back at videos and I was like, oh my God, my form is disgusting.
And
so then we fixed that.
Most people can't do handstands, so.
Yeah, but then we fixed it. And then I think when I was fixing my handstand, I came across more accounts that were doing things that I thought I could do. So like the push-up claps and everything like that.
So you just tried it?
I just tried it. And then when I was able to do it, I was like, oh, I'm going to film it. And I'm going to post it. And that's how I just kind of got into it. And then I started filming, like, to me, like, the OGs of me growing up on Instagram was, like, Ryan, Demi, Morgan, Scott, like, all those guys, which is so crazy because now I'm friends with all those guys.
Yeah.
Like, I literally met up with them the other day and, like, I text them all the time and stuff like that. So
what's that feeling like, that you just, like, look up to these people and now you're friends with them?
It's really cool. Yeah. It's, like, it's a good feeling in the way that it feels like when I was looking up to them, like I felt like I was such a low level, but now it's like, oh, one, it makes me realize that they're just regular people. Yeah. But two, it makes me realize that how much I've grown as a person and my talents and like stuff like that. Yeah. So it's a good feeling.
And just an affirmation that like, oh, I'm cool enough to be at the big kids table.
Yeah, I'm at the adult table now.
What do you call it? You were talking about like your relationship with food earlier with like bodybuilding and stuff. Like you said, it wasn't very healthy.
No, for me, reverse dieting is something that I failed to do. Can you
describe reverse dieting?
So that's like when you do bodybuilding, you're obviously on a big deficit, and then when you want to like obviously do your like go back to regular life, you have to slowly bring your calories back. But I didn't do that.
What's the reasoning?
Because then you do what I did. When you do it all at once, you basically gain like 15 pounds in like 5 days, and that's not good for anybody. Sure. And then it's really hard to like get everything back into balance. Okay. Because in your mind, you're like, oh my God, I want to eat healthy. I want to measure everything out. I want to be good. But your selfishness in you is like, but I've been starved for so long. I just want to eat everything. Yeah. And so it's like this fighting back and forth in your mind of like, I want to be good, but I'm going to binge. And then you feel really guilty about it. And then you hate food. And yeah.
So you hated food at like some point in your life?
I hated how food made me feel about myself. So even though...
How did it make you feel?
Like shit. Like I would not even be eating that bad, but because it was eating way more and I wasn't measuring stuff in my mind, that messed me up.
Okay.
So when I was on prep, I would like measure like almonds. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like you don't need to measure those, but that's what I was doing. And so to go from that to just eating like mashed potatoes, chicken, like even though it was clean, I wasn't measuring it. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not hitting my macros. Like this is the end of the world.
Yeah.
You're poo.
Yeah.
And it would just get into my head a lot.
How did you get out of it, I guess? Like how did you become like develop a healthy relationship with food after that?
It took me a really long time. I just stopped measuring altogether for a little bit, and I would just mainly ignore like that craving of like sugar and stuff because I would just not give into it as much. And then slowly when I started cutting like that portion out and just eating like food, I became better with just regular food.
Okay.
And then I was able to slowly bring that other stuff back in. But for the longest time, like I wouldn't want to eat like ice cream or like cookies, crackers, stuff like that because I just knew, or like chips.
Sure.
Because I would just go off the deep end.
Yeah.
So if I just avoid them, don't even buy them, don't have them in my house.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna leave my house, drive to a grocery store, and get the chips because then I'm like, you're messed up.
Yeah.
Like you really want those chips. So I just limited myself.
What's your advice to someone who's like, I guess, trying to develop a like healthy relationship with food, but they're the type of person who like they're just so addicted to like that craving that they're gonna be that person to go to the store and grab the bag of chips?
That's hard because I feel like my best advice would be like, if you are going to do it, put yourself in a position where you only, like for me sometimes, like if I were to do it, I would say get the bag of chips, eat whatever you crave or eat at the time, and then throw it out right away. Yeah. Like just, you know what I mean? Like take out that possibility of like, oh, I'll go back and eat some tomorrow. So that's what I would do to myself.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people always think I'm wasteful, but like when I have bad food, like I throw it out right away. And it is wasteful, but like also you don't need those calories in your body.
Yeah. Don't you find after birthdays, like people give you like so many like cupcakes, blah, blah, all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm just going to throw it. Like I think I threw out on my birthday like 5 cupcakes.
Yeah.
Cause I can't eat 5 cupcakes.
I mean, they sound good. Yeah. Like, and I'd love to eat it.
And I don't
like
need it.
We don't need it.
Yeah.
You know.
And at the end of the day, it's just I can't eat it in the space of time that they stay fresh. You know what I mean? So I can't eat 5 cupcakes in 3 days.
Yeah. So did you always want to be a fitness influencer? Did you always want to be the LittleTfitness of Instagram?
No, like it literally when I created my Instagram, like I was saying before, like it was for myself. I never even dreamed.
I guess like
of any of this
rewinding,
stuff.
What did you want to do when you were younger? Not even in college. Like I wanted
to become a chiropractor.
Become a chiropractor.
So that's why I went to school for kinesiology. I was originally going to finish my undergrad and then go to chiropractor college. But after I finished my undergrad, I was like, I want to break. I want to train a little bit. I got into like the strength and conditioning. I was an intern at my university.
Okay. Doing what?
Just working with the athletes. So I got to just shadow the other strength conditioning coaches and kind of get an idea of why. Because when I was training, I had, for the cheerleading team, we had that as well, where we had to do workouts, but I didn't understand them. So I wanted to better understand them. So that's why I interned. And then when I graduated, I wanted a little bit of a break. So I was like, oh, I'll personal train for a bit because I really like watching the athletes train and I want to become a trainer myself. And then I just never went to chiropractic college.
Oh, shit. You just enjoy training that much?
I loved it, yeah.
Okay. So did you become like a full-time trainer after college?
Yes.
So how did you get into it? Like obviously you have to get your certification.
Yes.
And then I guess how did you develop your clientele at the time?
So I did the typical step of going to like a commercial gym. So I worked
what was LA
Fitness.
Your LA Fitness?
I was in LA Fitness.
LA Fitnesses in Canada?
Yeah.
So weird.
They're everywhere.
It's so weird because I thought LA Fitness was just supposed to be in LA, and then I saw one in like Arizona. I was like, what's going on?
It's so funny because some people refer to it as LittleTfitness.
Ah.
So in Canada, sometimes we just take out the LA. We're like, yeah, we're going to LittleTfitness.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, it's so ironic that some LA Fitnesses, all the nice ones aren't in LA.
Really?
Yeah, the ones here are disgusting.
I've never been to one in LA, to be honest.
You don't want to?
Yeah. I don't even go to the ones in Canada.
I mean, you were training there.
I know, that's why I've never gone back.
You're like, it wasn't my cup of tea.
No, it was not my cup of tea.
So you went to LA Fitness and
that's where I started everything, built my clientele there.
What's rates over there?
Oh, at the time it was, to be just like a regular personal trainer, it was $35 for a half an hour because they only do half
Canadian
an hour
dollars?
Sessions. Yes, Canadian. Okay. And then for an hour session as a master trainer,
come on, master trainer.
It was $60. I was head master trainer.
Were you really at LA Fitness? How long were you doing that for?
I was only there for a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I dipped.
And you became headmaster trainer?
That quick.
How many clients were you training a day?
A lot, because our sessions were only half an hour.
Yeah.
And so I would work 6 a.m. to 2, and then
6 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
Yeah,
okay.
and then 5 to 8 p.m.
Every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think you learned from all that volume of training that many people?
I learned, well, the biggest thing is just like the relationship aspect with your client, because I saw so many different people, but luckily for me, my roster of clients always stayed the same.
Sure.
So I was able to build like really good rapport with people, and I think that's what helped me strengthen it, because even just walking through the gym and stuff like that, being able to just easily communicate with people, strike up conversation, I think that's the biggest thing I took away from LA Fitness.
Were you always good at communicating with people growing up?
I think so.
Okay.
I consider myself a pretty personal person.
Personal person? How do you connect with someone, I guess, like while working out? Because like there's like a fine line, right? It's like someone wants to talk to you the whole session, then you realize like, are we gonna work out, dude?
Yeah.
And then there's the other one where like they just want to work out, but like they're awkward and they don't want to. You can't. It's hard to communicate, right?
Yeah.
So I guess like, how do you find that like nice
happy medium spot? I would always time my clients' breaks, so like we would be able to talk during their break.
But then like when it's done, but
if it's time to go, I'm like, all right, go for your set, and then we'll talk after.
Okay.
So I think that's pretty much how I kept it. There was some clients though, their biggest thing for coming to you is just to talk to you. Like you're almost like a therapist, low key, like a really cheap therapist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? $35. So a lot of people just wanted to do really light stuff, and just as long as they got to talk to you, they were happy about their personal life, work, anything like that.
Were you hard on yourself to like get results for your clients?
Yes, but that changed for me, because you have to realize that client progress it's like 50-50. I can be putting in 100%, but if you're not showing up either, it's going to be impossible for me to help you. And I think that's what a lot of trainers have to realize too, that
it's like on their end too.
Yeah, we can only do so much, and if a client's not seeing the results that you're wanting, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a failure, because they could be happy with the results they're seeing.
Sure.
And I think that's something else, because I had goals for my clients, but their goals were a little bit different. So I had to understand that maybe they didn't want to lose that much weight when they originally like signed up, and they're just happy with what they've already lost, or they didn't want to do the strength stuff. Like they're just happy to be lifting any weight. So it's just understanding that each person is different, and not necessarily blaming yourself for not getting them to your specific goals for them.
Shouldn't you agree on those goals though, like while going into it?
Well, that's the thing. So we would talk and sit down, and they would tell me their goals, and I'm like, all right, bet. But then as it kind of went on, I think some people realized that fitness is a lot harder, because realistically, if fitness was easy, we'd all be jacked and skinny and running around looking great. But then they realized how much work it is, both the workout side and the nutrition side, and they're like, I'm happy with just where I am.
Yeah.
Whereas in my head, I'm like, no, I want to get you to where you said you wanted to go.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like when people come up and tell you like, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, you're like, sick. I don't know if that's really possible unless you starve yourself and do a ton of cardio. And
you're like, I can't do that.
But the ironic thing is like some trainers will promise that just to get them
a commercial gym specifically. I remember they sat me down and were like, "Kate, tell this client that you can make them lose 30 pounds in a month."
They said you what?
Yeah, they're like, "We want to sign this girl up. Agree to what she's asking."
Really?
And I went to the desk, and she's like, "Can you make me lose 30 pounds in a month?" And I was like, "No." Straight up, I can't. I said no.
Okay.
Because it's one, that's so unhealthy.
Yeah.
And two, like I can't do that physically. That's impossible. So I just said like no.
Yeah.
And then she didn't sign up, but.
Oh well.
I feel good about myself still.
Sure. How would you motivate, I guess, like your clients to do things that they don't want to do?
I relate to them on my level, like where I don't want to do things sometimes too. So I tell like usually a personal story of like, hey, I'm exactly like you, and I had to do it, and this is how I came over it, and usually that gets my clients a little bit more motivated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what got you to, I guess, graduate out of LA Fitness? You're like, because you're working here, I don't know, 8-9 hours a day still, right? And you're training, you're getting all this volume in, all your reps in, and you're probably dealing with different body types at the time, different people who like have different goals, and like you develop like a relationship with these people. You said you're very like personable, right? Like, how do you transition out of that? Like, you had to let these people go? Did you take them with you? Like, what was the deal?
So a lot of them came with me. When I decided to leave, a lot of them came with me. So I was
stuck it to the man.
Know.
Did you feel dirty?
I felt honestly, I have a ban on myself from Good Life in my area. They said you can't come back. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, is that a different gym?
Pardon?
Is that a different gym? Good Life?
So sorry, I had to switch to Good Life because LA Fitness banned me.
Okay. Oh, they did ban you.
Yes.
That's why Taylor hasn't been back, guys.
My little rebel side. But yeah, so they primarily just all followed me when I left.
Okay.
I just told them that I was leaving, and when they because the rules are, you can work around the rules.
Sure.
If you just say that you're leaving and then they contact you after you left, you can then say what you're doing. But I couldn't have been like, hey guys, I'm leaving LA Fitness, want to come with me? I could never do that.
You hear that, trainers?
Yeah, that's the life hack right there.
That's the life hack.
And so then when the people who did decide to come with me, thankfully was a large portion of my clientele. And I realized I had the confidence to leave when I had thought, like, it's been 10 months of the same client list of people re-signing their contracts and stuff like that.
10 months?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, same client list. No one had dropped off. No one had stopped. Because, like, they buy a certain amount of sessions, right? So then they have to buy a new package.
Yeah, buy a new package.
And everyone always would.
Why do you think, what made you so special that...
I don't know.
That these people would continue to, like, buy sessions and work out with LittleTfitness?
Well, at the time I was just Taylor.
Taylor, sorry.
LittleTfitness wasn't even like a thing yet. She was sitting at like 750 followers.
Baby Little T.
Yeah. I think it was the fact that I was so relatable to them, and then I understood them to a degree that if they came in one day and they didn't want to be like work super hard, I wasn't like too bad. I wasn't a hard coach like that. But also it was the fact they also got results too. And a lot of people, because commercial gyms don't necessarily have the best trainers, they had really bad trainers before where they would be like putting their money in and not seeing any results.
And so you got like the results as well as like the personality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like we got results in a way that was suited to their lifestyle.
Sure.
Like it's not like I forced them to change their entire life in order to get to where they were happy.
How do you think you got your success as like a female trainer? Because in my experience, like females have a very hard time developing and keeping clientele, and like I guess just that in general, like it's harder.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a very male dominated. For me, I always made sure that whatever I wanted my male clients to do, I would demonstrate it.
Okay.
So if I'm lifting the weight, then they should be able to lift the weight.
Yeah.
Obviously, it got to a point. Some of my guys got really strong where they were like benching 225. I couldn't demonstrate the first rep of that, obviously.
Sure.
But
some people can't bench like 95 pounds, and like
Yeah.
if it's that, you'd be like, Taylor would bump it out, and then they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, or I make sure to always like put on the weights, and like if I'm lifting a 45 over my head like a bunch of times, it just comes across as like I'm stronger. Whereas if you look at some female trainers who don't necessarily do those actions, not because they can't, but just because they don't want to or whatever the reason is, I think it builds a lot more respect from a client side when they're like, oh, like she can lift that, like she can do that. She's doing the weight that she's wanting me to do. Yeah. So it's not like I'm just saying, yeah, lift this heavy thing, but I can't do it. So
is that like the main piece of advice you have to female trainers out there? It's like load the plates and demonstrate the movements.
Yeah.
That's
honestly, it's crazy, but I think that's honestly what got me a lot of respect from my clients.
Yeah.
And then obviously being very professional in the way you talk to your clients. I think some people get told as a female trainer to be like a little bit flirtier with your clients. I would never do that.
I want to hear you flirt.
No. One, I can't flirt, guys, but two, no. But I just think it's very unprofessional to try to like be that kind of person towards your male clientele.
Sure.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's a different motive to working out then versus like you getting better. It's me flirting with my trainer. Yeah.
It could never be me. It could never be me.
So now you're like you left LA Fitness. You're going to like Good Life, right?
To work out, yeah. Not to train people, just to work out.
Okay.
Because then I rented a space to train my clients out of for a while.
Okay. So you're working out at Good Life, and you just decide to, like, people are hitting you up from LA Fitness.
Yeah.
And so now you're like, what do I do? Like, where do I train these people?
Exactly. I panicked a little bit. I was like, I don't know where to go. And so then I found a gym that I could rent space out of to train them.
Okay. Did it have everything you needed?
Everything I needed, yeah. It was a good monthly rate. All my clients came in. I think what it ended up being is like $5 each client.
What?
A month. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was so cheap.
Yeah.
Because I was able to negotiate just like a monthly flat rate that was like guaranteed for him.
Okay.
And then we both won out of that agreement. So it was good.
I guess like at this point, like for rate wise, did you decide like not to do kinesiology at this point? I mean chiropractic.
Yeah, I decided against it. I think because I was already out of school for like a year and a half. I was like, I really liked what I was doing, and I felt
training.
I loved what I was doing. And even if like because social media hadn't happened yet, and so I was like, I can be a trainer full time. I can make a living for myself. I did very well for myself.
What did you like so much about it?
I liked helping people. I liked that I got to help because my clientele, a lot of people assume it's like handstand, backflips, all that stuff. My clientele is like 30 to 45-year-olds just trying to get fit for their families. And I love that.
Yeah.
When people come to me and they say, oh, I want to just be able to play with my kid and not get tired.
Yeah.
I want to be able to keep up with them and help them in soccer practice. Like, that's the kind of help I like to do with people.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So what type of training would you do with these types of people? Because if that's like your main type of clientele, like obviously you're not doing like body, like.
Oh yeah, not bodybuilding. 1 rep max, let's go. It was a lot of just mobility work, because a lot of them were just like very sore from their jobs and driving and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of just stretching them out and getting them into a good, just like regular positioning for their life. Yeah. And then a little bit of cardio work here and there, but a lot of it was just like mostly circuit work, I would say. More circuits.
Do you think circuit training is like the best training for, I guess, that type of clientele? In your opinion, just because like
I would say so, because it brings in the cardio. You can add a little bit of strength in there, and then if you load it first with the mobility work as well, then it works out relatively well. Because a lot of these people, if they want to do these workouts on their own, they aren't as strict on themselves to do like the timed rest breaks or like the progressive overload. Like they kind of just like lifting similar weights on their own and like doing like a quick little 30-minute workout. Yeah. That you can do it with the circuit.
That's what's up. What do you call it for the mobility portion of it? I feel like trainers didn't really have like their goal wasn't to like make clients like mobile, be able to like squat with a overhead squat, like have like loose hips, like shoulders.
Or not to have like your knees caving in when you squat, or like your ankles straining.
Mobility was just not a goal for most trainers for a long time. And like for you, like mobility Mondays and like just mobility in general is like a huge priority for you. Yeah. And like just making it known to the world. I guess like to you, like what is mobility and like why is it so important?
Oh, okay. So mobility to me is, well, it's like the definition of being like strong and like your greatest range of motion. Okay. For me, and then I find it important because it just makes everything that I do a lot stronger. So like all my lifts, I get more out of my lifts because I have better range of motion. Yeah. I can be stronger, and it allows me to do movements that most people can't.
Sure. I'm talking about for other people. Just
for other people.
Like basically, like why is it important to be able to like touch your toes or like?
If you can't touch your toes, what are you doing?
What are you doing, guys?
What are you doing? Well, it's because I tell them, because a lot of them complain about aches and pains that they have all day. I'm like, well, did you stretch? And they say no. And I'm like, well, this is a very easy solution. You just stretch, guys. Like, it's not hard. I know it's boring and tedious, and that's why a lot of people skip it.
A lot of people think it's hard.
It's hard. But I feel like that's because the trainers that train them give them stretches that are like not at their level, you know?
It's like
if I sit next to someone and I'm like,
right now.
Yeah, if I sit next to someone, okay, you're going to do a pike sit and reach for your toes, and I bend in half, and I'm like, this is what I want you to do. They're going to be like, I can't do that. Sure. But when I demonstrate a stretch, I literally demonstrate, I almost knocked my mom up. I literally demonstrate as if I'm them to give them like a realistic perspective of like where I want them to aim to go. Yeah. And then we slowly get better.
And then you'll be able to do that pike split thing, whatever you're talking about.
Exactly. But I think a lot of people think it's like so advanced work, but it's like you can literally just like put your arms above your head, tilt to the side. That's stretching. Like, it doesn't take a lot of work. Yeah. And so I think a lot of people just make it a lot harder than it needs to be.
It's like just start somewhere.
Like any bit of stretching and any way you can do it is best. So I tell people, if you're going to be someone where it's like you will only stretch in the morning when you first wake up, make it that. Or in your lunch break or whenever. Like,
do you have like a stretching routine that you recommend?
Well, I have like everyday stretching routines on my YouTube channel.
Go check out LittleTfitness on YouTube.
They're all right there.
What do you call it? Do you have a favorite movement?
My favorite movement
workout
of
movement.
Like all time.
Okay. Do you mean actually, hold up.
Do you mean like strength movement?
So I guess like there's a movement first, like just favorite movement in general, like whatever you want to do, and then I guess like what do you think is the most important movement if someone had to choose to do just for overall health fitness?
My favorite movement would be push-ups.
Push-ups.
But I also think that's one of the most important things someone should be able to do as well is push-up.
Why is that?
Because it's pushing your own body weight.
To get big pectorials.
The huge pecs. No, because like to hold yourself in a push-up position and to do high reps of them, like you engage like your core, your glutes, your upper body, like even like you're tensing your leg muscles if you go to a super high volume, right?
You have to.
And so I think it's a good movement.
At least to keep that full plank position at least.
Yeah, and have proper form. And I think a lot of people's goals in general are to be like, oh, I've always wanted to do a push-up. And I think a push-up is more doable for most people than say like a pull-up. And I think if you can't move your own body, like anything body weight in general, if you can't move your own body weight, in my opinion, you shouldn't be moving weight.
At all.
If you can't do the foundational movements without any weight, why are you trying to add on weight?
Let me, I guess, like
counter that.
So say you can't do a push-up, right? And you're like 300 pounds, right?
Okay.
And so obviously you need to try to lose some weight to do that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also you have the ability to load up a bench press and put like 150 pounds on, half your body weight, and to develop like chest and tricep muscles there before like getting into a push-up. Wouldn't you say that's a counterpoint to that?
It does make sense because I do understand that weight does affect it. But in my case, I would say there's tons of regressions for a push-up as well. Yeah. You can do an incline push-up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can do like
you can do a wall push-up.
You can do a really high like barbell assisted push-up.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it's not necessarily that it's like you can't do any weighted stuff without getting a push-up, but your main focus should be trying to get that push-up.
Yeah. I guess so. What do you think is the most important movement that if someone had to choose like one thing to do every single day, what would it be?
Every single day. I still think push-ups.
Still push-ups?
I still think push-ups.
Really?
I mean, I guess like I think people would argue squat.
Squat.
Because it's a functional movement.
Yeah. For me, I always say a kettlebell swing.
Really?
Yeah.
Do explain.
Because like you're working your whole like posterior chain, like your abs, your glutes, your hamstrings are activated, like your grip strength, like the number one like statistics of like people like hurting themselves or dying after like 60 or whatever. I don't know the exact like statistic, but it's like from falling, you know, and like and people can't open stuff, right? So like like their grip strength goes away. So if you're doing like a high volume like kettlebell swing, like your grip strength is getting like taxed, your shoulders are getting taxed, like you're working your abs at the very top of the movement, like, you know, it's just a really good like full body movement to do every single day.
It's crazy. You know what I don't do?
Kettlebell swings.
Kettlebell swings.
You're like, they're not needed, guys.
you don't need to do them.
But that's my theory on it. I mean,
no, I actually do. I agree. That's a good way to look at it. I think it's because I don't do them. Yeah. It doesn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, because like a push-up, like I feel like you're not really. I feel like your legs and your lower back, like those tend to give out for people. Yeah. You know, and so there's so many people sitting down for a long period of time every single day that those need to be activated.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I still think push-up. Maybe because it's my favorite movement. Though. I could be a little biased.
Sure. So basically, I guess going back to the timeline, like, so now, like, you're training your own clients, and you already started, like, your Instagram page. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
So, like, I guess, like, what's the middle part of, like, I'm a trainer to I'm an influencer? Like, there's a lot missing there.
Yeah, but I think it's because my growth happened pretty fast, though.
How so? Like, how quick did it happen?
So 2020, I hit 10K.
2020, you hit 10K on Instagram?
Yes. 2021, I hit 100K.
Oh.
2022, I hit 756.
Wow.
Yeah. So my growth was fast. So that's why the in-between time is kind of minimal.
What's your secret sauce?
I don't have a secret sauce. Like, I can tell you, like, my tips and tricks.
No, like, I guess, like, what did you do to get there?
I posted every single day.
Every single day?
Every single day.
Like, didn't miss a day? Once a day?
Oh, yeah, just once a day.
Just once a day.
Oh,
wow, you're like, whoa.
Twice a day?
You can do it every day, but not twice a day.
Twice a day is a lot. Because honestly, in my opinion, if I see someone come up my timeline twice a day, I'm like, damn, twice a day? That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I already saw you.
Like, I don't need to see you again.
I see you twice. And then I replied back to everyone. So I think one of the major things about building your platform is building your community. Okay. So I reply to people's DMs. Yeah. Even now, if you look at my DMs requested, it's like, it's always less than 20. Always.
Less than 20 DMs?
Less than 28 DMs to reply to.
Oh.
Yes.
That's why you have 24 hours of
exactly.
screen time.
That would be correct. And then also commenting back to every single person in the things. And then my biggest thing is you'll see it too with my challenges. When someone does my challenge, I always put them in my story.
Repost it.
Yeah. Mostly because when I was a creator, I would do all these people's challenges and be like, oh my God, I hope they see it.
And then they repost it and you're like, whoa.
Well, no, they wouldn't repost it.
Oh, okay.
You thought it was a happy ending. You thought it was a magical moment. No.
You're like, I'm doing all the things that I wish people did for me.
Yeah, kind of. And it's one of those things where it's like I used to reach out to big creators just to tell them like I look up to them. I really like their content.
Why would you do that? Just because? You're like, you wanted a fangirl?
No, not necessarily fangirl. Well, I guess to a degree, but it was also just to show appreciation that I understood how hard it took to get that video or to do that movement. And I just thought it was inspiring of them to be doing it and posting it. And the amount of people who would like read it and not even acknowledge my existence, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's okay. Like, at least I said my stuff.
I said my part.
Yeah. And then now as a creator on my side where I have a big following, when you reply to someone, it's amazing the messages you get after. People being like, oh my God, I never thought you would see this. Like this has changed. This made my entire day.
That's awesome.
And in my opinion, like if something is so simple as me just checking my phone and replying to people can make someone else's day, why wouldn't I do that?
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
So I guess like, did you have intention for each post? Like, would you be like day one, like, I'm going to teach you guys how to do like a push-up or like whatever, or was it just straight entertainment? Like
Just straight.
Like, is it
Mostly
just like
entertainment.
Mostly entertainment.
I have Skill Drill Saturday, which is a more tutorial-based type teaching post, but that's only once a week. And then the rest of the week is a mix of hitting all my, like, what I call pillars, which is, like, my push-ups, my handstands, my backflips, and then something either, like, funny or a different kind of challenge or just a lifestyle picture.
Was this, like, every single... Like from the very beginning, you had this like mapped out, like this.
No, this was only probably within the last 2 years that I've had this little formula mapped out.
Yeah, I guess from the beginning, like what was the type of content you're posting?
Just whatever I did that day. When
Just
I used
workouts.
to post, when I used to post content, I would post it. I would literally film it and then post it right away.
So
I would film it on the spot and then post it.
And edit. No edit.
I've never edited my stuff. I've made my profile very low maintenance because one, I'm not
That's
someone.
easy.
Exactly, it's great. But that's one thing I tell people is I feel like if you keep your page as simple as possible, that's how easy it is to keep posting. So like I don't have to do my makeup for videos. I don't have to do my hair for videos.
You just wear white socks.
White socks. My hair is like in a messy bun.
Yeah.
And my outfits sometimes don't match. Like, it's really whatever I'm going to the gym with.
Yeah.
And I made it so low maintenance, and it was stuff that I just wanted to post, and I've always made it that way.
Why do you think you're so, like, known for, like, white socks and smiling?
Because it's on every... Like, I don't wear other color socks.
And
when I first started, so embarrassing. I had such dirty socks. I think that's why...
Dirty white socks?
Literally. And everyone's like, ma'am, your socks. Like, great video, but what's happening with your socks?
What are those?
Yeah. And then I had to start buying new socks.
Okay.
Because I think when I first started my page, I was like a normal person, had maybe like 15 pairs of socks. I don't know if that's normal. I would consider that normal. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I had less pairs of socks. I don't know. Maybe I was so dirty.
I feel like 15 is, like, on the lower end. I feel like you should have...
Okay, so I was on the low end of socks. And then now I have 84 pairs of socks.
You know exactly the amount of socks you
Yeah,
have
I
right
counted. Yeah, 84 pairs.
Okay, so we have a mutual friend who wants to go visit you in Canada.
Yes.
And you showed him like just your like drawers of like clothing, and it's like color coded.
Color coded, yes. Perfectly folded.
Perfectly folded.
Yes.
The fact that you know how many pairs of socks you have is wild, in my opinion. Like, why are you like that?
I don't know. I have a little bit, maybe a little bit organizational. Like, I want to say OCD because I don't think I have OCD, but I like organization. Like
why?
ASMR organization videos on TikTok.
Are you serious?
They get me trapped for hours.
Turns you on?
Yeah, I love it. I'm like on my phone, like, oh my God, I could be here for 5 hours.
Yeah. What's the beauty of like having everything organized for you?
I know where everything is.
I mean,
It's
that's simple.
It's that simple.
That's crazy. So, back to social media.
Yes.
So you start seeing this traction. You have this like rhyme and like formula and everything like that. Like, when was the first time like you got, I guess, like paid to have this account?
My first partnership ever was with LittleTfitness. LittleTfitness, like Libert Equalizers. You guys have them here.
I don't know what that is.
Lebert.
Okay, Libert.
You know those bars that are like pink and green and yellow? Those like P bars?
No, I don't.
Parallettes? No. You're a liar. I swear you know what these are.
You're like, Nate, you know what these are?
I need to show you a picture. But they were my first sponsorship.
What was the feeling like when did they hit you up?
Yes.
Okay, what was the feeling when someone hit you up and you're like, I'm going to pay you to wear or use our equipment on your video?
I was like, this is the sickest thing in the world. Because I would do this anyways.
Yeah.
And that's how I still think about social media. It's great to have sponsors like Gymshark and Rain who pay me to do what I do. But it was just like, I'm going to post this stuff anyways. So
regardless.
because I love doing it.
What do you love about it?
It's just fun.
Just fun.
It's fun. Like at the end of the day, like days like yesterday where I spent the entire day making content from like literally 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Best days I have.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
So you enjoy it?
Absolutely.
Because some people think they're like, oh, I gotta do social media now because like that's the way the world's going, and like it's just so taxing on me.
Well, then you shouldn't go to social media if you feel that way. But yeah,
there's a lot of actors out here, right? Who are into, I guess, like the acting space, right? And then they're now seeing big time actors like, I don't know, like a Matthew McConaughey or someone in that caliber who's like now posting a ton of content on Instagram or whatever, and they're like, oh, I got to do that now too, you know?
Yeah, no, you don't. Like, I would say only start social media if you like it. If you don't like it, don't do it, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do something that you don't like. Yeah. But I love it.
What keeps you motivated to do it every single day?
I think it's because my content is based around my goals and everything I share about my life.
Sure.
I'm not trying to, like, I think if my page was just like my workouts, I wouldn't have as much fun with it. Because even though I'm trying to always get better in my workouts, my main goal in life is to be doing like crazy other stuff.
Crazy other stuff. Like
my push-up combos, my backflips, like different ways to like land a flash kick into a pistol squat and then take off one leg back tuck. Like those are things that I want to do.
I'm gonna pretend like I knew what that meant.
But you know what I mean? So like that, like posting stuff like that and working towards stuff like that makes me more excited for my content.
Yeah. Do you have a community that you work together to, like, I guess, develop those skills?
Yeah, my Toronto community of my friend group in Toronto is the best group I've ever had.
What's the importance of having a community to help like grow and develop like skills?
It's huge. Half my stuff that I try on my Instagram, my friends all help with ideas.
Really?
Yeah. So like one of my friends was like, "Yo, can you try this?" And I'm like, "Okay." Yeah. One of my viral videos, I think it was like 8 million. Hands behind my back tuck. One of my training guys was like, "Yo, try this," and I was like, "Okay."
And you did it.
Video, yeah.
Wow. How does someone develop a community or like find a community that can help? I guess it doesn't even necessarily be fitness, but like I guess how did you find your community, and how can someone else like try to find theirs?
So I started mine with a meetup, like a calisthenics meetup.
Okay.
And that's just like where people who like to do calisthenics, we all meet up and we all just train outside for 3-4 hours. And I think anyone who's showing up to an event like that is going to be someone that you have a common interest in. Because if you're willing to do it, obviously you share some other interest with the other like 20 people there.
Sure.
And you're going to meet someone that you click with, and they know people, and you just eventually grow. And if you keep going to the same meetups, seeing the same people, you start training outside of the meetups as well.
Okay. So it's basically like putting yourself out there in an area where like you find common interest.
Exactly, yeah. So and even like parkour gyms, that's where I found all my flippy friends.
Parkour gyms, that's a thing?
Yeah, parkour gyms.
Isn't parkour gyms like outside? It's just like
they're
street?
Indoors. They're indoors because they have to practice indoors before they go outside.
So not everyone out here is jumping from buildings on their first try.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend that, not at all. But that's where you find, like, I would say a lot of people always look to what I do and think I go to a gymnastics gym, but a parkour gym is a life hack. If you go there, you find the coolest people ever. You find like people who do free running, you find people who do tricking, martial arts, gymnastics, cheerleaders go there. Like everyone goes to parkour gyms.
From I guess these gyms and these communities, what are some like skills that you currently want to learn that is not in your arsenal?
Cork. I'm so sad about that.
What?
So, cork. So it's like
what's cork?
It's a skill where you like basically like do a full twist, but like on an angle, because like trickers trick on a 45-degree angle. Okay. I'm a gymnast. I twist here.
Okay, so hold up.
It's terrifying.
What is a tricker?
A tricker.
They just do tricks.
They do tricks.
Wait, but wouldn't you argue that you're a tricker? You can do cool tricks?
No, I'm a gymnast. I'm acrobatic.
Okay.
I'm not a tricker. I'm not a tricker. I'll show you a video of a tricker. That like they're so different than me.
Okay.
They look so cool. I don't look as cool as they do, in my opinion.
Okay.
So what was the question again?
What's the difference between a tricker and I guess like what you're doing? Because like I would argue that it's that, but no, we were just talking about like the skills that you want to develop.
Cork, which is a tricking skill.
Okay.
I had it. I posted on my Instagram page twice. I lost it.
Why do people lose things? Because like I landed a backflip and I learned it on my own, so I'm gonna give myself credit. But I also just sent it like in the grass like a lot, and I ended up landing a few. Yeah. And then I don't have any anymore.
Oh yeah, you don't have. So I think it's one of those things. Like I always say to people that when you get a new skill, you have to literally drill it for the next like week, every single day to keep it. And so what happened to me is I got my cork, then I got sick, and then I was away for 10 days, came back, cork was gone, missing, forever.
So do you think you're going to get it back?
I'm going to go back to, my plan is, I actually texted my friends this morning. I was like, okay, I'm going to come back to Toronto. I'm going to go to like our gym and train for 7 days straight. I'm going to get this quirk back.
Sure.
Because it's almost been lost for a full year now.
Do you get frustrated when you can't do something that you're trying to do?
Absolutely. I cry.
How long? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
People don't think I cry because I always look so happy on my Instagram. But one day I was training my quirk. I got so frustrated I cried. Because I was like, what? Why can't I do this?
How long will you spend like training for a movement, like trying to get it?
So, okay, this is where...
Because there has to be, like, a healthy point, right?
Yeah,
Because,
of
like,
course.
at one point, like, your legs will definitely give out in a backflip. Like, if you do it 1,000 times, like, you just, like, you can't exert any more energy.
I would say one training session a day is, like, you wouldn't... Like, I wouldn't train my quirk for 3 hours in the morning and then 3 hours in the evening. Like, it's just one training session, which is typically 3 hours for flips.
Yeah.
And I'll train it the full 3 hours. Although, I would say if I start to get scared, a little spooky...
You'll stop.
I'll stop.
Okay.
Because I don't want to scare myself in my flips.
Yeah.
But if it's one of those things where I'm just like, I'm not getting the technique and I'm just like landing like short or like whatever and I'm not scared, I'll train it for the full like amount of time that I set.
Got it. What's your training regimen now? Like, obviously, you have calisthenics, you got bodybuilding, you got XYZ, every type of movement that you're doing right now. Like,
so, a week of workouts for me, what it would look like. So it's 6 strength workouts a week. 2 of them are calisthenics. And then I have a cardio day, and then I have 3 lower body days.
Okay. So you basically work out all the time, every day.
Yeah. And then I have a Pilates day, and then I do rock climbing, and then I do flipping.
Wow.
Added in.
Do you think that much movement is healthy?
For me, yes.
Yeah. For other people?
No, for other people, probably not. Like, I do tell people, like, for me, because I've worked out this way for so long, it works for me, and I take good care of my body as well. Like, I make sure I do my warm-ups, my cool-downs. I see my chiropractor. I take care of myself. But for the average person just getting into fitness, I wouldn't say, yes, do 20 activities.
Where does someone start if they're trying to get into fitness?
I say start with something doable. Like, if you're, like, I know everyone likes to go into their goals being like, I'm going to go every single day. I'm going to train 5 days a week, all this stuff. And I'm like, listen, set it to, like, I'm going to make it to the gym twice this week.
Yeah.
Once this week if you want. Whatever you can think that's going to keep you motivated to stick to it. Because I think the biggest thing is when you go too big, too fast, you get so demotivated when you don't hit it. Because you're so disappointed in yourself that you don't want to go back. Because you're just like mad at yourself. You're like, oh man, like I really didn't do it. Or it's the case where it's like, oh, I already skipped 5 days. Not going to go again.
I know.
So.
Dang. So for, I guess, are you still personal training right now?
Yes.
Why are you still personal training?
Someone asked me this the other day. And I described it as I like my personal training because my clients are, again, 30 to 45 years old.
Yeah.
They don't know about social media.
Yeah.
So I can just talk to these people and not even have like the social media world. Yeah. It's like a whole different world.
It's like they know you differently.
Yeah, where I'm just Taylor and we can talk about their kids, what they're doing, and like they'll ask me about my work and they'll ask me like cute little questions and they try to like understand the social media world, but it's so nice just to have people to talk to where I don't even have to think of that stuff.
Of that area in your life.
Yeah.
But, like, wouldn't you say that you could spend that time in a more efficient manner for your goals?
I could, but I think, honestly, I'm more productive when I have a schedule.
Yeah. Busy people are more productive, in my opinion.
Yeah. So if I wake up, because my first client starts at 7, I wake up at 6.
Okay.
I'm already starting my day earlier, and I know I'm going to be productive from my starting time of like 7 to like usually 12 now.
Sure.
I cut it a little bit shorter. And then I'm forced to work out at a certain time because I don't like to go when it's super busy. Okay. So that way I stay awake during the afternoon.
So you don't train at like a private gym or anything like that?
No, I just train at a commercial gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you pay rent there and stuff too?
Oh, wait, what do you mean for my clients?
Yeah.
No, sorry, my clients I train at my home gym.
Okay.
Sorry, so clients are at my home gym, but then I go to a commercial gym for myself to work out.
Why?
Because why not?
Well, some people like don't like the waiting part of it. Some people, like, if you have a big fitness following, they just don't want to. They want to get their workout without being bothered, stuff like that.
No, I love when people say hi.
Oh yeah,
I love it. Like, I think it's great to meet people who, like, you know, have a little story to share with you about something. I don't think I'm ever gonna be the kind of person to be like, I don't want to see people.
Do you like meetups and stuff?
Love them.
What do you call it?
Well, meetups, like calisthenic meetups?
No.
Or like meetups for people to meet me.
Yeah.
I would never want to do it officially. I like when it's organic.
Okay.
Because I feel awkward. I think I did a meetup once and I had to just stand at the front and people had to like walk through and like meet us all.
Yeah.
And for me, I felt like I didn't get to actually meet people.
It's such a weird
It was a quick handshake and a photo, but I didn't actually get to like get to know you, how you found my page, what do you do for fitness, like what do you enjoy, like why do you do what you do, or why'd you come all this way to even see me? Like I never got to really understand or like meet the person.
Isn't that such a weird concept though? Like that you could post something right now and be like, hey, I'm at this place in this city and a lot of people will come see you just because like you affected them.
But I don't think I'm that big of a deal.
You might not, but like try it. We'll see what happens.
Right now, hey guys.
Pull up.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe because I still consider myself a small creator. So I just, when people ask, would you ever host like a retreat? Would you ever do any of this stuff? I still consider myself tiny where I'm like, no one want to spend that much money to hang out with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, no one would go to the trouble of like wanting to do that in my head, at least.
Yeah, but like you've definitely experienced it on social media where like probably the good and bad. I guess like the good part, like how does it feel that like you were one of those that the person you were when you would reach out to these old creators and stuff, you're like, thank you for posting this. Like it took me a long time, but I finally got the movement that you just did. Like I appreciate you. Thank you for all that. Right. So that's like the good side. How does that make you feel? But also like you probably had some like negative parts like of social media where like like you have a following and like some people will comment some like nasty stuff, you know? So like I guess like how do you deal with both sides?
So the nasty comments, I always reply back to them. I know some people
Really?
like don't feed into it.
Why?
I'm like, no, I'm gonna reply back. Mostly because I just like to. I always do it professionally. I always do it with respect. And then it's crazy the amount of people go, oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't think you'd actually see it. That's the number one reply that I get.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, that's crazy. So you just decided to be a mean person because you didn't think I would see it. But now that I've seen it, you're then gonna say, oh my god, I'm such a big fan. Weird. Right?
That happens?
Yes.
That's weird.
It's weird. I was like, so why did you tell me I'm bad? Like, why did you tell me you didn't like me?
Yeah.
And then there's other people who, quite honestly, sometimes I'll like egg people on a little bit just for a little bit of engagement. I won't even lie. Because sometimes when people are like, you know, they're trolling.
It doesn't affect your like mental health?
I mean, if it did, I don't think I would do it.
Maybe I mean, some people like, they just like unhealthy things.
You're toxic. No, like, it doesn't affect my mental health. There was one person who said like, oh my gosh, like such a show off, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. Like, I'm just trying to show this movement and how to teach someone this movement. And they're like,
oh, I mean, I feel like that's not a bad comment, like of being a show off.
Yeah, but that's as bad as my comments really get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I think a big reason why my page doesn't get a lot of hate is because I show how transparent I am. Because in my stories, I post my videos that look good and I get it. But I also show the 20 takes it took me where I fell on my face. So I'm not someone out here being like, I'm all that, I'm so great. I'm like, hey guys, this took me a little bit.
You're being out here 8 Mile, Eminem in 8 Mile over here. Yeah. You're saying you're showing all the bad things, and you're like, yo, this is what's up though.
Yeah. But look at this.
It took me all this time, but like
we got it. we got it. And also because what else was I gonna say? What else with hate comments? Oh, I also dress like very honestly. Like I'm not someone out there like, you know how some girls, like I try to avoid a booty angle when I'm shooting my stuff or like a crotch angle.
You're very, I guess, conservative in that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why like my following tends to be a little bit nicer as well. Because it's not those people who are like a little bit pervier who like to like, you know, express inappropriate things that are on my page. It's more like, I get a lot of comments of people saying, oh, me and my daughter watch you all the time. So I have like families watching me. So I think that's why my following is much nicer.
Taylor didn't grow her following from booty pics, guys.
Yeah, we grew it from like ugly zoom in faces, white socks and smiles.
Which like ironically, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, honestly, it was. I found things that worked for me and, you know, it was good.
What do you call it? I guess like if someone's willing to start, like has the hunger to like start social media and do the thing, like there's so many influencers out there. There's so many people who work out. There's so many people who do like whatever. How do you stand out from the crowd? I think
that's building your community. Because realistically, everyone, you know how many people post their workouts? So many people. But I think when people communicate and like talk to the people who engage with their profiles, that's how you grow a following, in my opinion.
Just responding and doing all that.
Just responding, making people feel like listened to and heard. And like if they have a question, you know how many people like, I'll scroll through people's pages and like people will be in their comments being like, oh, where'd you get this from? Or love this song, where's it from? And people just don't reply. And it's like, if you just reply to that person, they'd be like, oh my God, that's so nice.
Oh yeah.
It's as easy as that.
Yeah. Just making people feel good.
Yeah. Making feel people important enough that you reply to them. Like they're going to the efforts to engage on your page. Why can't you engage back?
Yeah. What are you most excited for in your life right now? Because I guess like you kind of built the following to where you're making a living off like social media. You're still doing clients, which gives you some sort of like a real life in-person connection, and still have like your roots of like training and that aspect. And I guess like what's next, or what are you most excited for?
I'm excited for it because I think I want to take a new venture in my business where I want to start consulting. So the same thing where it's kind of, I help people grow their Instagram accounts.
Really?
Is what I want to start doing. Because I know I've done it for myself.
Yeah.
And I want to see if I can help other people do it, if possible. And like my whole dream is to have me where you could sit down and consult with me. I would help you give ideas, help grow like what things you can post. And then I have my videography team, which I would give you, and you guys would just go off and film all the content, and then we'd make a content plan and post it all out for you.
Why would you want to do that?
Why not?
I don't know.
Why not do it? Because I love content so much, honestly. Like when people ask me about content ideas, I love creating things and finding ways to challenge myself to create things that are not necessarily fitness related. So if you're like a lifestyle vlogger or a lifestyle account or a shoe account or a chef account or whichever it is, it's good for me to challenge my brain of like, what would I do if I was creating that kind of content?
What does creativity mean to you then?
I don't know. That's a good question. Creativity, like making something that not necessarily hasn't been seen before, but just has like a different, like your own flair to it. Like I call everything like a little T twist.
Yeah.
So it's like I've taken an idea from someone, or I've taken inspiration from someone, and I've made it my own, and I'll always give credit to that. That's one thing I would say. I think you asked me this earlier in the thing about how to like grow your page. Having the respect to other creators and tagging them is a big thing.
And just tagging people and just giving them the credit.
Yeah. A lot of people think like if you tag someone like, oh my gosh, they're going to follow that page instead of my page. Yeah. But that's not the case.
Yeah. What I guess what's the joy or that you get from creating something? Because in reality, like people who say they're creative and they like these videos of you, right? They wouldn't exist in the world without you. Or like for an artist, like this painting wouldn't exist without this idea in their brain and putting it on like a canvas. Or like for me, like this Bitters company, like it wouldn't be here without this idea in my brain that I wanted to create like this product, and now it's like a real thing, you know? And I guess for you, like, what's that feeling that, oh, I thought of this in my head, I made this dope video, and 8 million people just see it. And
yeah, it's a good feeling.
You're like, it's sick.
It's sick. But at the same time, I think it's honestly less about the viewers to me. It's more about how I feel, because I'll post a video, and even if it flops, like it doesn't do good, I'm just like, yo, that video was sick though. Sick. Like I love that video. Like
really?
Yeah.
So you do it for you?
I do it for my page is all for me. Like I know obviously I make a living off of it, but I only post things that I want to be posting.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
What do you tell people? I guess like at least for me, there was a stigma of the content creator like 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Influencer. We still, I don't personally love the word influencer. I like content creator. Yeah. Still.
Yeah. I guess the stigma of like you'll see someone like walking down like the street with their camera, or like, you know, just like a bad stigma towards it. And for people, a lot of individuals won't go into the content space because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to, I guess, like have that stigma on them, you know, because
I get that. Yeah. I think a lot of people are embarrassed to film themselves. Yeah. It's something that you do have to get comfortable with. Sure. Even me, sometimes in a brand new environment, I get a little bit shy. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to film in here. Like, I want to, I want to respect everyone's space and everything. And especially now with the social media world of like a lot of people being told like they can't film places, like it is a little bit more intimidating, I would say, now than it was maybe like 2 years ago. But I would say if you're comfortable with people, just like, not necessarily comfortable, you just have to get rid of that thinking of what other people think. Because when I go into a space, I try to tell myself, okay, realistically, if like I'm filming in California, when I go to a gym, what are the odds I'm ever going to see these 10, 20 people ever again? Never. I mean, so if they think I'm a loser, then I'm a loser. Like, it's fine. If they're like, oh my gosh, that girl like loves attention, she's doing the most. Okay.
You're like, sick, bro.
I'm like, I hope that you think that, and then you see my video with a bunch of millions of follows later. Like, you know what I mean?
Stick it to the man.
Yeah, like, you think I'm lame and dumb, like you'll just see my account later. But you just have to like remember that you're doing it for yourself. Yeah. And then as long as you're happy after you film, like that's all that matters.
Where's the biggest fitness space for you? Like, do you think you're going to be in Canada for a long time? Forever?
Canada will always be home base for me. All my family's there. My friends are there. So Toronto will always be home base. I will leave during the winter months because I hate winter. So I will
Do you like skiing? Are you a snow sports?
No.
Why not?
Because people told me I can break my wrists, and I can't afford that.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time on my hands. So if my wrist is broken, it's going to be real tough.
Yeah.
But I will move. I want to say I want to move to Arizona from like November to March.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, why Arizona?
Everyone said, why Arizona? I'm like, I love Arizona.
Okay, what do you love about Arizona?
There's so much hiking. The facilities there are so nice to train in.
Okay.
And
You have friends in Arizona?
I have no friends in Arizona.
Girl.
I have no friends in Arizona. But there's also like golfing, hiking. There's good bouldering out there. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I like to do out there for myself.
And you're just like, this could be
and
a dope place for content.
Yeah, and I got a tripod and a camera. Like, that's all I need.
That's all you need.
And then I'll go back home to my Toronto friends, and my Toronto friends will come visit me. Or my LA friends will come visit me.
Yeah.
You know?
Arizona's a vibe. It's super cheap, too.
That's the other thing. Love LA. Love you guys, but LA's expensive.
It is real expensive.
Yeah.
What do you call it? What's the importance of hobbies for you? Because I just saw you getting into golf.
Yes.
I played college golf for a little bit, so we got to go sometime.
I'm terrible, but okay.
We'll get there. And you did like the skydiving thing. You're getting into rock climbing. Like, why are you doing so many things? Or what do you enjoy about like having hobbies?
I like trying new things. And also it's all things that are going to make me better somehow, like to transfer into my fitness as well. Like golf, it's like golf and bouldering. It's all very different. Like the technique is very different, but you're very body aware of how your body's moving. So it gives me better body awareness for all my other stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And then I also just like being...
It's like cross training.
Yeah.
It's like this thing that I'm going to develop here is going to help me at the thing that I'm already doing.
Yeah. My awareness of my hips when I golf directly translate into like turning and spinning and like flips. Like it's weird. Like you would never think a golfer would be like, oh my God, yeah, let me go do a backflip. But it's true. Like when you think and you make analogies for yourself when I'm trying to learn a cork, I'm like, oh, just twist my hips like I would for a golf swing. Like it clicks better for me.
Yeah. Is there any other hobbies that you want to learn like right now?
I do want to learn martial arts. The only thing is I'm really ugly at it. Like if you watch me do martial arts, I'm not cute. Like I look lost, very lost.
Well, what type of martial arts?
Any, really?
Okay.
Because a lot of people tell me.
What have you tried?
So I dabble with, I don't even know the name, but the one with the kicking. Taekwondo?
Taekwondo, Kung Fu?
Yeah, I think Taekwondo.
Taekwondo is like mostly kicking.
Yeah, so I dabbled with that. I've also done like boxing.
Okay.
And
boxing. Jab.
Yeah, jab, hook, jab, cross, whatever.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, slide.
See, you're basically there.
I know, basically pro. But I'm not used to feeling ugly in doing things. You know what I mean?
I mean,
do you get that feeling though? Like when you're good at something.
Yeah, but you also post all the ugly things up to like the nice video though.
Because I get a nice video. So far with boxing, I've just been ugly.
So if you don't get that nice video, you're just like ugly. You're like, nah, that's not.
I'm just
like,
I wait for a nice long transformation video. Is what I do. You guys will see the ugly eventually, but I'm not confident enough to show you the ugly yet because I just.
So we'll see some martial arts in the next couple of years.
I think so. I do want to get into it, but it's just very different. And it's good for me again because it keeps me light on my feet. It's like the rotation, it's the body awareness, it's the coordination in your mind.
Yeah. What's important to see of being bad at things?
I force myself to be bad at things. Like when I do boxing and stuff like that, like I am so uncomfortable. Yeah. I hate everything about it. But I'm still going to do it.
What's the importance of doing uncomfortable things?
To feel this way.
Why do you need to feel uncomfortable?
Because if you're just comfortable all the time, then you're kind of boring. Like you have to be uncomfortable to challenge yourself. Yeah. Because if you're comfortable all the time, that just means you're cruising. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you're just this, you're never gonna get better. Like you see all those whoa, words are so hard.
Wow. Come on, English.
Come on, words. Those inspirational quotes where it's like progress doesn't look like this, progress looks like all this stuff. So you need to have those. You need to see all that and feel all that in order to be better. Yeah.
What do you think being adopted has done for you?
Sometimes, I'm quite honest. Sometimes I forget I'm adopted.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very lucky that I'm very well adjusted in my family. I don't know if I could really say anything that like adoption has like helped me do or anything like that.
Well, I don't know. Like I have a lot of adopted friends, you know, and some turn out great. Like, yeah. I mean, you're great.
I'm great.
You're great. But like some also like deal with some like traumas of just like their birth parents like giving them up. and stuff like that. Do you ever think about that?
No, I don't. And people always ask, like, would you ever want to meet your biological parents? And I personally don't think so. I'm good in where I am in life.
Yeah.
I think I'd be curious to see if I have any biological siblings, because I think that would be really cool.
But like, yo, sis, what's good?
I'll be like, yo, are we similar or not? Nature versus nurture. But I don't think, like, I guess some people could say, like, oh, like, you overcame something at such a young age or whatever. But I think, honestly, the only adoption, like, influence, or, like, the only thing that adoption has influenced in my life is probably, like, my attachment style. That's it. But... Abandonment. I'm kidding.
I don't even know what that means.
You know the attachment style?
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's like the, what is it? Anxious or avoidant.
Oh.
That's
so you're anxious and avoidant?
I'm both.
Oh.
I'm perfect. I'm kidding.
Do you think that's good?
No, I was kidding. Like, it's not good. But I'm just, cause, like, I don't think I don't think adoption has made me, like, anything. Like, influence to, like, my fitness or my success.
Zero.
I think what it does is it affects how I potentially connect with people. Maybe. I don't know.
Do you like connecting? You like connecting with
people? I know. I like connecting with people, so I don't think that's valid either. Yeah. That was just a babble. Yeah. I don't know what that was, but I do have an anxious and avoidant attachment style when it comes to, like, relationships. And that's the only thing I would say that adoption has influenced in my life.
Just for the love of love.
For the love of love.
For do you supplement at all?
Not really.
Why not?
Because I like to just eat it if I can.
Eat it. Eat whole foods.
Yes.
No fish oil. No vitamin D.
No, I take, like, those. So I have greens in the morning. I'll take vitamin D, vitamin C, C60, which is basically a turmeric something that I take.
No protein?
Fish oil. I'll just eat my protein.
Okay.
I will have a scoop of protein powder if I'm short on protein, but ultimately I do like to just have, like, eating my protein.
Yeah. I was telling you, I had this doctor on the podcast yesterday who's, like, really well versed in supplement research, and he doesn't really take any supplements, and because the research shows that basically, like, it helps very minimally in the, like, the long term, but it does help. It does help, but it's, like, microscopic, like you know. And so I was like, that's super interesting, because, like, the supplement industry is so big, but, like, they sell that it does help, which is, like, true.
Yeah.
You know.
It does help, but I don't know. I personally I'm weird. I don't like powdered or liquid.
You don't like powder and liquid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling in your mouth.
It's a weird feeling. It's a weird, whatever it is, it's weird. I don't like it. I don't tend to like the flavoring of it. There's a couple that I don't mind that I use, but ultimately I'm not a big supplement person.
Do you track everything?
Right now, I loosely track.
I mean, right now you're on vacation.
Well, right now I'm on vacation. I don't track anything.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home, I, like, loosely track. I mainly track my protein when I'm home.
Yeah. Well, what's your advice to, like, I guess, tracking? Because, like, a lot of people find that as, like, an unhealthy relationship with food.
I would be very delicate with it, for sure. Because for me, it caused an unhealthy relationship with food. I think you don't have to measure everything. If you're not stepping on stage, like, you don't need to measure everything. Pick one thing that you really care about, or pick a couple things, I guess, if you want to, like, pay attention to your proteins and your fats or whatever. But I mainly just track my protein intake, because that's what matters to me. And then I'm smart about the other things.
Why is it important to you?
Protein?
Yeah, for you.
Because if I don't eat enough protein, I feel
these gains.
I don't get these gains. No, but I also feel it. Like, my overall, like, energy. Yeah, really? My overall energy is lower. I get hungrier way faster. Like, I don't feel as full. And if I'm just not eating well, it just affects a lot, like, everything for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Do you get cranky when you're?
Oh, absolutely. Oh. I was with Kevin the other day, and I was like,
Hangry?
Kevin, if I don't eat in the next 10 minutes, we are gonna see a very different Taylor. It's gonna be scary.
So, like, there's so many diets out there, right? There's, like, vegetarian, vegan, carnivore, all these,
yeah.
And, like, all of them are, like, they're their own cults.
Yeah. Yes. Not to say that.
Not trying to offend anyone, but, like, people who are super obsessed with, like, the diet that they have, some people, like, identify, like, I'm a vegan or, like, whatever. And I guess for you, what's your opinion on, I guess, these diets? Like, do all of them work? Like, was one better than the other? Like, is it like a whole like whatever. I don't know.
I'm someone where it's like, if you want to eat what you want to eat, you do that.
You
do you. What you put in your body is not going to affect me.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So if you're someone who's vegan and you can get everything in that you want and you feel good and it works for you, amazing.
Sick. Yeah.
But don't tell me to eat like that.
Yeah.
Or like if you're vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to eat like that. I want to eat the way I want to eat because it works for me.
Yeah. I just find it hard to people speak in like 100%.
Yes.
It's like, this is right. And
yeah. This is the best way to the world. If you don't eat like this, you're terrible.
In training too, it's like, this is the only way you should work out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and you're like, I feel like there's a little bit
of gray area, you know? Yeah, I was just curious. Do you, so you don't drink at all, right?
Barely.
Is that just because, you drank yesterday, right?
Drank it. No, I didn't.
The espresso martini thing?
Oh, no. So that was from a couple days ago. That was from 2 weeks ago. And I had one sip and I did not finish it. That was a waste of $7.
A waste of $7 for a drink? That's cheap.
Okay, we're in Canada. In LA.
Do drinks go that cheap in Canada?
Pretty cheap.
Do you
for like brunch.
Guess how much a cocktail at my restaurant costs in US dollars?
$25.
Keep going.
$35.
It's like 32.
I could never.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah,
that is like liquid in a glass is worth more than most meals.
I would never. That's why I don't drink. I definitely wouldn't drink in LA then. Not because of my allergy, but because I'm cheap.
Do you, is there a reasoning why you don't, I guess, like drink or do you, like marijuana it up?
So one, it just doesn't fit my lifestyle. And two, because like if I'm hungover or if I don't feel good the next day, it's gonna affect my workout that day, and I hate that.
Yeah.
And two, it's because I'm partially allergic, because everyone was
Asian
like,
glow don't mean you're allergic, girl.
Yes, it does.
I mean, technically.
It does. And so it's so funny because yesterday when I posted that photo, everyone's like, "Oh, you're risking your life for like 1 to 3 times a year." I was like, "No, guys, my heartbeat gets really fast.
Okay.
I turn super red, and then I throw up till 4 p.m. the next day."
For one drink?
Okay, like maybe like 4 drinks.
So
it varies.
Yeah.
But regardless, my heart rate always goes up. I always turn really red.
Because in my opinion, like, drinking like loosens me up, right? Like when we're having a conversation, like I have a lot of podcasts where like I'll have like a couple glasses of whiskey or something like that, and like your brain will go to like area where it might not go like
sober.
It's like loosey goosey, you know?
Yeah.
And then you'll go that way. And I guess for marijuana, for me, like I could run for like hours.
Really?
Like I'll smoke a joint or I'll take an edible and I'll hike up a mountain and I'll just keep hiking. I'll keep going. It's like my secret to cardio. It's like my secret sauce.
Oh.
And then like creativity wise, like I write a ton of poetry. I write all these other things. And it's cool to see, like, I guess you from an aspect like have all these crazy ideas and all this stuff. Just like,
and I don't do any of that.
Don't do any of that. I was like,
I just live life.
I was like, how's she doing that? Tell me your secret.
Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff.
Where do you think ideas come from?
Things I see, things that come up in my mind.
Yeah. Because I
think of things, like I think of movements and I'm like, I wonder if it's possible out of this entry, or what if I did this? Like I envision a lot of it in my brain.
It's weird do you know who Rick Rubin is?
No.
Okay, he's this like big music producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote this book called The Creative Act. Yeah. And so basically the theory is like you have these ideas and you could either like take it, write it down and like put it out in the world.
Yeah.
And if you don't, that idea is going to go into someone else's brain and they're going to create it and do it. Oh. And there's this book called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. She's the one who did Eat, Pray, Love.
Yes.
And she basically wrote this book and she decided not to finish it. She's like, whatever. But she met a friend like 5 to 10 years later and she published this book. And Elizabeth Gilbert reads it. It's the exact same story that she wrote.
Oh,
different names for characters.
But same storyline.
Same place in Brazil. Same exact concept.
That's spooky.
And she just didn't do it. But like they didn't know each other. They didn't live in the same part of the world. But it was the exact same story. So I guess back to the idea part, I was like, do you think that's the same in fitness? Do you think that some other little T somewhere else is be like, oh, I'm gonna do this cork into this back handspring?
I think so. You know? I think so because realistic, and this happens in all fitness. Everyone seems to think like they are the creator of every single combination or the creator of whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we all just come up with things that we've seen before.
Yeah.
and like create our own new one. And if someone posted before you posted, then they beat you to the punch. I don't know, but no, I could see that happening in fitness.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
For the creative aspect of it, like, do people fight over like, hey, that was mine?
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
I'll send them receipts. I'll be like, listen, you posted this 2018, mine's 2017.
Dang.
But the thing is, like, it never has to get like nasty. Like, I think some creators get a little bit more aggressive with it.
Sure.
I'm just kind of like, hey, like, I would really appreciate it if you tag me. And that's all I can say. Like, if you don't tag me, then okay, like, I did my part, I did my request, and if you don't choose to tag me, okay.
Well, there's no like really consequence for it, right?
Not really, other than people in your comments. Like, so this is one thing that I would say, because I know a lot of people get hot and bothered about it.
Hot and bothered. You get real red, just like Taylor drinking a cocktail.
Yeah, that's the mood you feel. But think of it this way: if I'm looking at someone else's content, or someone else is looking at, say, someone else's content, and the first person they think about is, hey, that's similar to Taylor. So even though you've done the content, whatever, they're still thinking about me. Like, you still win at the end of the day. Yeah. So don't get all in your feelings about it. Don't get all mad about it, because big picture wise, you're still the name that people think of even while watching someone else's content.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like the whole like cliche. It's like, oh, you can steal the recipe, but it doesn't taste the same. You know, all that stuff, which is true.
Yeah.
You can do the exact same sequence I do, but if you don't have the same energy at the end, if you don't have the same cleanness, same technique, it's not gonna look the same. The same camera angle, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's wild. So like, it's similar to dancing.
Absolutely.
Because like, my girlfriend's a dancer, and she could do the exact same dance as this other person, and they will look totally different.
Yeah, because there's emotion, there's feeling, there's passion, there's everything in there.
Yeah.
And
isn't that weird though?
No, but that's what makes it all different.
Yeah, but like it's the same movements, and it could look. I mean, it's objectively like that's the same thing, but why did those make me feel so differently?
Yeah, it's just how it works. Yeah. That's why like when you look at creators and people are like, well, I post this and they post the exact same thing. Why don't I blow up?
Yeah.
So, well, like, look at the content. Which one did you enjoy watching more? Which one did you watch all the way through? Which one did you send to your friend? Which one did you share?
It's crazy.
Crazy. That's how it works.
How's it being a Gymshark influencer, content creator,
an athlete? Gymshark athlete. I love it, honestly. And it's one of those things where people ask, like, did you ever imagine yourself being a Gymshark athlete? Like, no.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say yes.
No, literally no. Because when I got into this stuff, I never thought any of this was gonna be possible.
Yeah.
I never got into posting being like, I hope I get sponsored.
Yeah.
Like, that was never the goal for me. It was just to have fun and post. And so to have a brand that believes in me before I believed in myself was really cool. Yeah. And literally when they emailed me, I was like, I'm getting punked.
You didn't believe it. You didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it. Because I was like, this is probably spam. Like, this can't be real. But then I had the Gymshark like legit like logo at the bottom of the email, and I was like, seems pretty legit. Like, I should probably reply.
Wow, that's crazy.
I just didn't believe that it could happen to me.
It's so funny, like talking to you and you being an actual Gymshark like athlete, because I got into bodybuilding when Gymshark was all about like bodybuilding.
Yes.
So like I followed Steve Cook.
Yeah.
I followed Christian Guzman. I followed like Nikki Blackadder.
The OGs, yeah.
All of them. And like I watched their YouTube videos every day, and that's how I got in fitness.
Oh, okay.
You know, I lost like 30 pounds from watching like these YouTubers. Let's go. Come on, fitness. But like to circle it back around, I'm just like, wow, like the fact that I guess you're kind of like this athlete now that has like people follow you, right? And they do your workouts and they respect you as a person of expertise, you know? Like, how does that make you feel? Like, does it feel real still? Like, because like you said, this is all just for you, and like it's just like my thing. But also, it's kind of like a responsibility now to a point where people trust you with what they do for working out and your tips and tricks. Yeah,
I would say it doesn't feel real. Like I have an app, like a fitness app.
What is it?
The Little T app. LittleTapp.com. You can sign up there.
LittleTapp.com.
But when someone approached me to start my own app, I was like, no one's gonna want to do my workouts. No one really cares about what I do. But I have a good built out app, and people really enjoy it. And maybe I'm just someone who just thinks of themselves as like lower, perhaps. But I never think like the things that I am currently doing would even be happening or like possible, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it is weird. It doesn't feel real. It's like, that's crazy. Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling, because like, so you don't really pay attention to that.
No.
At all.
I try not to, because I think, well, like, one, it's like not super important to pay attention to like that kind of stuff. I think it's more, again, like the community aspect. But when I do think about it, like on days where I need to maybe take a step back and like appreciate how far I've come, I think about it and I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of crazy.
That's kind of cool. And then I'm going to continue to do my daily life and not think about it
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think you're so, I guess, like from the mutual friends that we have, like the reason why I think I gravitated towards you as like, just like wanting to know you and become like friends is because they said we were like quite similar in like a type A personality way.
Yes, I'm very type A.
Yeah.
Very type A.
What's benefit to, I guess, like being on time, being communicative, like all these things? What has it done for you?
Oh, I think it means everything. Like from a personal trainer point perspective, you can't be late for your clients. You know what I mean? You have to communicate with them. You have to have good communication with brands. You have to have good communication. You have to show up. You have to be there. And to be organized and to have things like I'm very assertive with my time. That's how you get stuff done. Yeah. Like I don't go to collabs and meetups and don't get any content. Yeah. Like unless I'm like super there for the vibes and like don't really care. Yeah. But if I'm there for a purpose, like I will like have it scheduled out to a T. Yeah. Literally of like what I want done.
A little T.
To a T. But yeah, I think having a type A personality is like super beneficial. Yeah. I'm biased, obviously, but
because this is who I am.
This is who I am, and I've done well.
Yeah. So, what would you do if social media was taken away? What would you do if you didn't have a phone?
Oh my god! If I didn't have a phone or social media was taken away, that's two very different questions.
Well, both. Like so, like you would have a phone just for calls.
Oh, okay. Well, I honestly, I would still live my life the same way I still do now. I wouldn't stop fitness. I wouldn't stop what I'm doing. I would do exactly what I do now. I wouldn't have to carry a camera and a tripod with me.
What advice would you tell people to? Because like, would you say that you love what you do?
Yes, I love what I do.
And there's a lot of people out there in the world who I guess don't love what they do.
Yeah, there is.
They're people who are working jobs that they don't like, and like I guess we've accomplished something that is very minute because like a lot of people don't like what they do. So I guess like what advice would you have to like start on that journey or like start doing something that you like, but like how do you I guess make a living off of it or start the journey to do that?
Oh, before I answer this question, I do have to go right after this question.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All good.
What was it? So the question was what was the advice? Oh, okay. Say the question again. It's basically like how to like motivate someone to start what they want to do because obviously we don't all get to do what we want, like love.
Yes.
Honestly, I talked to my friend about this the other day as well, where it's like sometimes you do have to be in a position where you have to do that classic like work the 9 to 5 and then do your side hustle like your true passion the other times. Like you just have to put in the work.
Sure.
And it sounds so easy to like put in the work and then it's like, well, it's really hard to put in the work.
That's true.
Absolutely. But if you really, really want something, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And you can take the risk. Like obviously I took a risk when I went out on my own and do it, but I took a calculated risk. Like it made sense for me. You can also I know people who just full send. Yeah. And it works out perfectly for them. But I think it's a different mentality. Like it's not a type A personality full send, I don't think, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
Yeah. We're not full send people. We're like, let's calculate this and then send it.
It's like 65%.
Yeah. Send. We're like, exactly. We're like, let's send it because it's pretty safe.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming on, Miss Little T.
No, thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun.
Yeah, thanks. We'll do it again in like a few years, or we'll see where life
takes us. Next time I'm in LA.
Yeah. And where can everyone find you?
LittleTfitness on every single platform: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Where do you think is like the most beneficial for like people to follow if they're trying to get into like your types of movements?
I would say my Instagram, actually all three, because I kind of post more of my workouts on TikTok. Okay. YouTube is more the tutorial-based stuff, and then Instagram I have like that one day. So sweet. I would say just follow me on all of them.
Follow on all of them. Follow Little T. Get her workout at
LittleTapp.com.
LittleTapp.com, and we will see you in the next one, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.